Hey guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells. It is Saturday, December 19th, 2020. Just here today in the prepper house here, and wanted to make a quick video, just talk about some things that are going on here in my area of operation, which is in the Charlotte, North Carolina / South Carolina area. Bordering both those areas, and watched a video by Angry Prepper. I remember seeing Angry Prepper back when I think he was one of the first, I think he was one of the first preppers featured on, remember that show, Doomsday Preppers, National Geographic show, Doomsday Preppers. I remember him when he was on that, and he has a pretty good channel now. He lives in New York, my hometown. He lives in the city, so I can relate to some of the things that he's talking about because I worked in the city for many years, commuted. And so his last couple of videos, he's got various different topics. His last couple of videos, he was talking about some movies that he saw, and the texting group that I belong to with my cousins and some other people, I often send them information about certain movies that I think might help them better than saying, hey, you need to go get a ham radio, or you need to store water, you need to make a bug out bag, you need to get medicine. Some of these movies depict that and they show you. So as preppers, you can learn from what you're seeing in the movie. Now, sometimes it doesn't matter if the movie is, a fantastic movie or if it's, a very low budget movie, but you could still get good ideas from it. We watched a movie last night, my wife and I, called Rumors of Wars, and it's like a Christian-based movie, but it had a lot to show about taking a mark, taking the chip, things that we're hearing a lot and that we've heard a lot in the past. And that movie was made in 2014, and it's showing some stuff that's happening on a worldwide scale now, which was pretty eye-opening. Again, another movie that you could pick up things from, you could learn. It sends you back to the drawing board, and then you can, adjust your preps or add to your preps, whatever. So today I'm sitting here in the prepper studio in Central Command, and you see behind me here, you'll see some of my preps here. Behind me, I have an electric bike that I purchased over the summer. This is a Rad power bike. This is the Rad Runner. This battery on this bike, or this bike itself, the way it's set up, can get up to 40 miles distance range on one battery charge, depending on how much you pedal. And, the terrain you're on and how that's related to traveling, but it can get me from point A to point B when a vehicle maybe is not wanted or not needed, or you don't want to use a vehicle because of certain reasons. You can use an electric bike. They're silent for the most part. You could be stealthy on them. You could be scouting on them. You could be pretending you're driving around, getting exercise when you're taking pictures, scouting an area, looking for the flow of people coming into your community or into your neighborhood. You could do a lot with an electric bike, an e-bike. This one is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I have it set up pretty much how I want it. I'm going to do another video on it, but I got the front basket now, heavy duty basket. I've got the storage console here, and I've got a little pack. I'll get up and show you guys a little pack that I put on the back here that was on another bicycle. They make other stuff for this, but this pack is really nice. I keep stuff in it. You can't see it, and it's zippered up, and it's good to go. Excellent investment in my book. An e-bike, for the 12 or 1300 bucks, or I think it was 1400 bucks with all the additions that I did. Very well, money well spent, let's put it that way. And then things like, I'll show you here, it's a little chilly in here this morning, so I got my my Mr. Heater Buddy, the small one, lit up. I also have an electric heater that I turned on this morning that's running in here because I want to lift weights later. But I've got the Buddy heater fired up, and that sends me on my next topic, which is fuel. You know, I spent the last couple of weeks thinking about, you know, it's winter time now. I heard about this dark winter from our evil leaders that were talking about it over one of the presidential debates. And it kind of popped something in my head that said, dark winter. Does that mean power's going out? Heat's going down? Water lines will be stopped? Plumbing will be stopped? A lot of things started turning faster than they normally do. And so I made some arrangements and I purchased the bigger version of that, the Big Buddy, which is the dual tank. I showed it in another video you could check on my channel. And then I went ahead and I purchased a 30-pound propane tank, which I have in-house now, which I had filled last week. And that's in addition to my grill tank that I have that I'm getting refilled today, my other tank on my camper, which is a 20-pound tank that I have filled. That's full. And I have a small 5-pound tank. And then I have a whole bunch of the green cylinders that the 1-pound cylinders that screw into the Buddy heaters. And so then I took it a step further and I purchased a hose, which I will show you now, which Amazon shipped, or the company shipped it without the proper fitting. And I called them up and filed a complaint, and I'm supposed to be getting the new fitting today, but this is a 12-foot hose that's made for the Buddy heaters. And what it does is it hooks to your propane tank. It's got the regulator like your barbecue tank hose does, but this is 12 feet long. And on this end, which is not here because it didn't, in the picture on the box and in the website when I purchased it, it shows the female quick connect that is on here that goes to my Big Buddy heater. That'll make the Big Buddy heater run off of one of my 5, 20, or 30-pound propane tanks, giving me more, a longer period of time before fill-ups. And then I could run this hose with the Buddy heater into my house or here in the area, in the my prepper shack here, and I can keep the propane tank outside and run the hose inside and just have the heater inside. So this was something that kind of prompted me after I heard that dark winter comment to start getting these items in-house, because stuff like this is going to be very hard to get when the final SHTF happens. Especially things like propane tanks, other than if you go out and steal them or borrow them from somebody. So waiting on the quick connect to come in. It should be here today. If it's not here today, I'm going to go out to Lowe's or one of the hardware stores, buy the one for this, put it on, and be able to test my heater, make sure it's working. One of the things I did yesterday is I tested out my outdoor grill. I cleaned it up. It had a lot of buildup in it from the summer, from barbecuing. And one of the things that I didn't realize was in the barbecue grill itself at the bottom, where the fat collects from when you're cooking burgers, steaks, whatever, chicken, that fat tray was full of fat. I never emptied it before the summer ended. What that did was it attracted rodents or mice that got up into the grill, and they were kind of, I guess, hanging out underneath the grill there. Well, the grill was covered. They got up into it and were eating the fat and all the other stuff, the crumbles of food that was burnt and charred laying inside the grill. So check your barbecue grills. Yesterday I spent a good part of the day. I took the grill apart. I cleaned everything. I dumped the fat thing. I unhooked. I slid the bottom tray out. I took it in, scraped all the stuff off, took it inside, washed it out. I ran the grill, turned on the grill, let everything heat up and burn off anything else that was left. And I'm leaving it clean. And if I do use it this winter, I'll clean it as I use it so I don't attract the rodents, because I did have a mouse. One mouse got in here, and I caught him. I saw the droppings. I caught him with a glue trap. So you don't want to invite pests, especially if the grid goes down or we have this dark winter that they're promising, this cyber pandemic, whatever the World Economic Forum is telling us about. You don't want to have unnecessary guests around your house, your prepper retreat, your bug out location, your tent, your trailer, your camper, whatever. Also, you might want to keep a pump sprayer with some bleach ready with water, and when an incident does happen, spray around your perimeter. If you're making food, if you're cooking, afterwards clean everything up, spray around your perimeter with the bleach solution to ward off any pests that may come around looking for a home or looking to keep warm. So these are things that, again, getting back to these movies, The Road was another movie we were talking about on our exchange of emails, of texts this morning. Light of My Life was another one. I saw that a while ago. That came out in 2019. I forget where I saw it. I think I might have saw it on Amazon or YouTube. I think there was a copy on YouTube. At any rate, that's a really good movie. It's similar to The Road, where this guy protects his daughter. There's a pandemic that killed a lot of the population in the world, and females are sought after, let's put it that way. And this guy goes to great lengths to protect his daughter, similar to what Viggo Mortensen did in The Road, protecting his son. So I got a lot of good ideas and visual cues from those movies. A lot of visual cues from, believe it or not, the Walking Dead series, Fear the Walking Dead, just how long-term SHTF or war-like situations, hopelessness abounds, how people can still survive, but there is major issues in doing so. Another thing I want to talk about this morning in this morning's video, and this is, I don't have anything written here, I'm just going off the top of my head to try to get you guys to think about what you're going to need in case this happens. It's like a flow chart. If this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do this and this. If this happens, we go here. Have scenarios and run scenarios through your head, or watch the movies and think about, hey, if that happened, I don't have a plan for that. What the heck am I going to do? Am I going to take my family and go to my brother's house? Am I going to go to my parents' house? Are we going to meet at my camper and rally there and then move from there, make a plan from there? Have alternate plans set up. I also watched a video, I'll try to put the link to it in this video, from a tactical rifleman's channel. He did a really good video recently on caching supplies, burying supplies. Very, very good video to watch. Highly recommended. Also, alternate sources of energy, things like batteries and solar. If the grid goes down, you're going to need, or you're going to want to keep some form of lighting on, some form of refrigeration maybe you need for medicines. And in my case, for my mom and my wife, there's certain medicines that need to be refrigerated. Now that it's winter, you could maybe get away with keeping some stuff outside, but you don't want to keep stuff outside if you don't have to. So keeping a small refrigerator, or like my cooler in my van running, that runs on solar from the van, but I could also bring it in, run it on 12 volt off one of my Goal Zero batteries. And then I could also recharge, my microphone just fell. I could also recharge it via this solar panel here that I was showing you last week or a couple of weeks ago. This is a 100-watt folding Renogy panel, and I had misplaced, or not misplaced, but I had the necessary wires for it to hook up to my camper in one spot, and I had the solar panel here in another spot. So now today I combined the necessary cabling that I need. I put it in here inside the panel with the adapters needed. So when I go to my RV, I could set it up, set the panel up, lay it out in the sun, hook the cabling up, plug it into the RV, plug and play, boom. My RV battery now is getting topped off with this solar panel, and in the RV I could run my LED lights, I could run the slide out. I could do a lot just off that 100-watt panel, perpetually keeping my battery topped off and getting me through each day. So think about where things are, try to put things together. Even if what I do a lot, when you get these, you get all these electronic devices like this, this battery backup here, and it comes with a cable for your phone or to recharge it. And what I do is, if I'm not going to use the item, or I take the cables off, I put them in a Ziploc and I label it, out XE, the model of the product I have, and then the cable in there. So when I go to get it, I look for that Ziploc bag that's labeled for this unit, because some units have several different cables that they come with. And so with this one right here, I keep this cable with a Ranger strap, a Ranger band, which is just a bicycle tire inner tube, that I can wrap it up and keep it on board. I can unhook this, wrap it up, keep it on board the unit, take the unit, put it in a pack, take it in my truck, take it in the car when we go on a trip, and then bring our other phone charging cords around, and I could now use this to top off our phones, etc. So have a place for ancillary or associated cabling, batteries, whatever, for that particular device, because when you need it, it's not going to be there. Odds are it's not going to be there. Water, super important. Just purchased another 55-gallon water barrel on Amazon. It's not going to be here till January 14th. So if you guys are looking for water storage solutions and you have the room for a 55-gallon barrel, buy it now, because it's several weeks out for delivery. I already have one in-house, set up, ready to go, filled. I have the pump for it, and I have other smaller containers all around, everywhere basically, filled with water. Without water, you cannot do anything. We have a dark winter, or the grid goes down, or some type of cyber pandemic shuts down resources, like when you wake up in the morning and you go to turn on your fountain, your sink, and nothing comes out. Reality sinks in right away, and all your prepping that you've done and eliminated or mistook storing water or being able to get water in some other way will bring a pit of hell into your stomach. I assure you that. Without water, you're not going to get far in anything. And so I could talk all day about this, but what I'm trying to say is, you want to be ready, you want to stay ready, especially in closing. And here's what I want to stress in today's video. I want to make a statement on the state of our country. I have spoken on this channel, and you can go back and watch my videos from 4 years ago when Donald Trump was elected president. I was talking about an SHTF environment. In fact, go back on my channel to when I started, when Barack Obama was elected, is when I believed that we entered the SHTF mode. I believe him and his administration decimated this country on every level and planted seeds that were being reaped and sown now in this recent election cycle. And so that's called forward thinking, preparedness, looking ahead. Now, obviously on the bad side, but That's how you have to be. Whatever the enemy is doing, you have to mirror that and meet them at their match. While Barack Obama was president, people were buying guns and ammo and everything. And they said, well, Barack Obama's the best salesman for gun sales, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but how do you know he doesn't have a plan down the road to strip you of those guns that you haven't thought about? Now, did you know that he purchased billions of rounds of ammunition and distributed them all around the country? Maybe you forgot about that. Well, he was thinking ahead. While you were buying guns, or maybe not buying guns, he was purchasing ammo and who knows what else with monies from black operations, black ops, or our tax dollars, or companies that went under, like Solyndra, 500 million or whatever it was. That money was never accounted for. Shaking down British Petroleum, BP, for the oil rig fire and leak in the Gulf of Mexico during his administration. I think he shook them down for 10 billion. So money was no object there, and also printing trillions of dollars during the financial collapse of 2008 and 9. So all administrations do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that Donald Trump was our answer. I think he would have brought more time, given us more time. However, I think that has gone out the window. Time is very short right now for the state of the country. In fact, if you look at some of my other videos that I did, I'm of firm belief that we're being judged now as a nation, and we're suffering the consequences of our collective bad, unbiblical choices as a country. And so that's my belief. And so now we see the walls coming in and closing on us. And everyone's scrambling around asking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I get? My text message group was humming last week with, what kind of water filter do I need? The generator, what kind of generator do I buy? What kind of Mr. Buddy heater? What do I do for firearms? What do I do? What kind of scope do I need? And a sense of panic was setting in. And maybe those people did not take things seriously, or as serious as they should have, and they lost out, or now they're scrambling to put things together. So if you just do a little bit of digging, look into the World Economic Forum, go onto their website, look up Agenda 21, you will see that they telegraph what they're going to do, what's next on their agenda, and what they even lay out their ultimate goals. I was reading one article on there last week on the World Economic Forum. A guy, a reporter from India, I believe it was, wrote an article that the pandemic was such a blessing in this article to him, that because the people were told to stay inside or to hunker down or to, be isolated, the Ganges River became less polluted. So people were the problem. That's the problem with the globalists. Too many people is the problem in their book. So they're not interested, although they'll tell you they are, in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This life, stay on this life thing for one. If they're so interested in life, why do they abort millions of babies around the world? And our leaders support it. So they're not interested in keeping you and your loved ones alive. They're interested in their end goal, which is less people in the world, corralled up into certain sectors, and a global utopia run by man-made things or artificial intelligence, playing God. That is how their world looks, and that is what you'll see when you read their articles and the things they talk about and how they do. They'll give you cues on how they talk and what they say. And they have their crisis actors on the front lines in media, in academia, in the military, in government, on every level. They have their minions that push the agenda forward. And a lot of times they even have an anti-person or persons spewing things from the other side. So you think that, hey, look at this, there's another point of view here, when it's just them creating it. It's just crisis actors acting on a stage. And in the end, they're going to get their way. They're going to build their man-made utopia, and they're going to get what they want. They're going to vaccine you. They're going to make it mandatory at some point. They're going to ostracize you if you don't take it, blame you for getting people sick, etc. Make you the bad guy. So you have to make a decision this year, going into 2021, let's call it a resolution, that you're going to opt out of their system, like I am. I'm opting out. What that means for me remains to be seen. Opting out of their system. I don't want any part of it, anything to do with it. And I'm opting out. And I believe, in my case, and I believe that I'll be carried along by the Most High. I will be protected until He's ready to take me home. Whenever that is, it is. So I will stand, I will fight, and I will stay ready. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. Stand, fight, stay ready, whatever that means in your world, and understand what's coming is not ultimately for your good, the good of your kids, your grandchildren, family members, etc. It's not for your ultimate good. It's for the world's ultimate good and their system that they're planning. So think about that today. God bless. Take care. Stay ready. More videos to come. Anthony signing off.